Ronnie Clamau from Acquire Wealth Partners. How are you, Ronnie?
Hi, Jim. I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Good on you. This recent, quite undisclosed almost comment from the ASIC and the Director of Public Prosecution saying they can't proceed with any regulatory or criminal charges, I should say, against AMP for the fee for no service report. It seems that our regulator can't regulate, which, if this was the healthcare industry in a time of COVID, we wouldn't stand for it. Why are we standing for it in financial services?
I don't know. Darren Hinch, shame, Jim, shame. It's ridiculous. It honestly is. The regulations that we get enforced upon at a business level, and then you have a huge company like AMP that can just get away with stuff. The industry is searching for trust. It's searching for, and the public is searching to believe in what we do, and yet you have a company who charges hundreds of dead people and has all these, hundreds of thousands of dollars in money, that then they just decide, we're going to sue them, and now we're not.
Yeah, and I think the quote was due available evidence and relevant public interest. I would have thought the public would have been interested, but it's interesting they release this on a Friday night or a Thursday night when most of the public are interested in the Olympics, notwithstanding. So, and AMP is obviously a shadow of its former self, and it's clinging, trying to get back. But the ramifications for the whole industry, whether I'm AMP or any of the banks or anyone playing in the marketplace, that a regulator finds it difficult to proceed. And after a decade or more of so many inquiries, what is the consumer to lead to believe about, is it safe to actually get into this financial services marketplace?
Like you said, if the regulator can't regulate, it's like, they've got no teeth. They can't. I think for us, like for me, who's looking after our public interest as advisors, standing out there to protect the customer or the client, the end consumer, when it doesn't have any ability to follow through.
So is there something systemically, like we've had the Cooper inquiry, the Cedric inquiry, the Trowbridge inquiry, the Royal Commission, we had Ripoll, we've had a number of different headlines created by a number of different inquiries, all in the best interest of trying to protect the public interest. We still get here in 2021 a situation where the regulator just found we can't proceed. It's just too hard. Have we got the wrong basis to the whole industry, or what is fundamentally needs to change in your opinion, Ronnie?
I don't know. It just feels like all these inquiries filter down to us. We have increased requirements. We have code of ethics. We have increased education requirements. We have new disclosure requirements. And on one hand, they're saying we want to make advice affordable, but here's a whole bunch of new legislation that you need to comply with that makes your back office harder to deal with and more difficult to process and less efficient. So it seems to me that it's more about standing out, politics standing out, saying, yes, we're doing something, but once it's gone through and the commission's gone through, well, people really don't care about the end result and we'll just let it drift off. And, then somewhere down the track, there'll be a hoo-ha again and we'll have another commission about something and it'll filter back down to us at the ground roots of having to fix problems that institutions have created.
Because many advisors put their lives on hold the last 18 months, 2 years to get increased accreditation as per potentially new regulations coming in, which if this current regulation habit we're seeing from the regulator saying, well, it may not be regulated, it's just this very interesting situation to be in for an industry that is only set to grow in demand, and there's no question consumers want to get financial advice. But I sense that the shift between product and advice it doesn't seem to be going anywhere where it needs to be going. Is that fair to say?
Oh, look, maybe we sit in a different, group working with certainty as we do, but I think the other advisors that I talk to are genuinely looking to make sure that the discussions that they're moving towards with clients are around advice. I'm hoping that the days of product and selling and bonuses based on volume and numbers have all but gone because of the institutions that are sort of leaving the market. And I think that the advisors that are left now genuinely want to progress the industry and want, the best outcome for the client. I just don't know. You have a regulator do what it's done, and it just destroys and erodes trust that is starting to be built up. It's like, well, it's just big corporates always get away with stuff, it seems.
And so anyone listening to this, how can they tell when they're sitting and talking to an advisor like you that has fundamentally already shifted the product conversation over here and product choice as compared to when people are seeking life choices? How can they tell?
The conversations are going to be focused around the individual clients, what they're wanting to achieve, what is missing in their life, what's important to them that's going to require money, what planning is going to be required. It's going to be a different conversation completely, rather than who's your super with, what's your insurance levels. That'll all come at the end when we need to address that. But then there's going to be a discussion about how you get paid, and a very transparent discussion about we get paid by you in dollars out of your bank account, and we invoice you for it, and there's no conflict. We're not getting paid by third-party referrals. We're not getting paid by products. There's nothing that's getting paid from any third party that's not going to be disclosed. So the client will have that level of trust from that perspective, and they can see when there's a transparent pricing discussion and a very focused, caring conversation about where they're wanting to go, clients will know the difference.
Yeah, and hopefully we get an empowered regulator that can support that as well.
I think it would help us as advisors know that if people are out there, that are doing the wrong thing, there's going to be consequences.